Hello everyone and welcome to Game On. I'm Corey Puglisi.
I'm Chris Segarra. We have a great show for you today. We're going to be taking a look at Sonic 4 and our review of Super Scribblenauts.
And this week we have two games that flew under the radar, BlazBlue and Amnesia. But first, let's take a look at my personal favorite, BlazBlue Calamity Trigger. Made by the same developers as the Guilty Gear series, BlazBlue acts as its offspring with some real breathtaking gameplay. Even though the cast of characters is small, each one has their own really unique style of fighting. And once you learn different moves and tactics, this game turns into a whole heap of fun. And when it comes to visuals, this game looks beautifully crisp compared to any other 2D fighter out there. My only beef is that the online matchmaking can get a little rough when you're pitted against opponents who only really know how to button mash. But in all, this is a really fresh and dynamic game that everyone should play at least once in their life. We give BlazBlue Calamity Trigger 8.5 out of 10.
Warning to the viewer, that game is like a drug.
Yeah, once I started, I could not put that game down.
Another game you might have missed is called Amnesia: The Dark Descent. If you think a game can't scare you, you're going to have to sit down with this week's hidden gem. Amnesia: The Dark Descent is a first-person horror title that centers around the player-controlled Daniel and his quest to figure out where he is and why. The game starts out with Daniel regaining consciousness in the corridors of an old castle, remember only his name, and the feeling that something's out to get him. Through flashbacks and found journal entries, the player uncovers more and more of the game's story. Occasionally, journals are accompanied by high-quality voice acting, something that horror games are often without. Combine that with flawless atmospheric sound design, and you've got a game that does everything in its power to pull you in. When the game truly shines, however, is with its sanity mechanic. Stay in the dark too long and Daniel will go mad, collapsing and ending the game. Amnesia: The Dark Descent is currently available through Steam for the low price of $19.99, so go check it out.
Wow, I can't believe I missed that one.
But now let's move on to the recently released Fallout New Vegas.
We have some footage of the beginning of the game.
Let's have a look.
War. War never changes. When atomic fire consumed the Earth, those who survived did so in great underground vaults. When they opened, their inhabitants set out across the ruins of the old world to build new societies, establishing villages, forming tribes. As decades passed, what had been the American Southwest united beneath the flag of the new California Republic, dedicated to old world values of democracy and the rule of law. As the Republic grew, so did its needs. Scouts spread east, seeking territory and wealth in the dry and merciless expanse of the Mojave Desert. They returned with tales of a city untouched by the warheads that had scorched the rest of the world, and a great wall spanning the Colorado River. The NCR mobilized its army and sent it east to occupy Hoover Dam and restore it to working condition. But across the Colorado, another society had arisen under a different flag. A vast army of slaves forged from the conquest of 86 tribes, Caesar's Legion. 4 years have passed since the Republic held the dam, just barely, against the Legion's onslaught. The Legion did not retreat. Across the river, it gathers strength. Campfires burn. Training drums beat. Through it all, the New Vegas Strip has stayed open for business, under the control of its mysterious overseer, Mr. House, and his army of rehabilitated tribals and police robots. You are a courier, hired by the Mojave Express to deliver a package to the New Vegas Strip. What seemed like a simple delivery job has taken a turn for the worse.
You got what you were after, so pay up.
You're crying in the rain, Pally.
Guess who's waking up over here?
Time to cash out.
Will you get it over with?
Maybe cons kill people without looking them in the face. But I ain't a fink. Dig? You've made your last delivery, kid. Sorry you got twisted up in this scene. From where you're kneeling must seem like an 18-carat run of bad luck. Truth is, the game was rigged from the start.
Ouch, that looked like it hurt. Don't know how you're gonna get out of that one.
Yeah, it'd be a little hard starting off a game dead.
Speaking of death, let's take a break. When we come back, we'll have a review of Sonic 4 and Super Scribblenauts.
See you in a bit. Welcome back to Game On. That's Corey.
And that's Chris.
Are you a Sonic fan by any chance, Corey?
Actually, I am. I kind of adore the blue blur.
And you're gonna love my review of Sonic 4.
Ooh, can't wait.
Finally out on all 3 console marketplaces is the sequel Sega fans have been waiting 16 years for, Sonic 4. Unfortunately, anyone who's played one of the game's 3 predecessors will be a little disappointed after downloading this title. Sonic 4 would take the series back to its roots and feels just like that classic, fast-paced experience that once gave Nintendo's Super Mario franchise a run for its money. Now don't be fooled into believing that that's a good thing. Sega's latest product is pure nostalgia slapped with a fancy paint job and nothing more. From start to finish, the game is packed with level design and even boss battles that seem to be ripped directly from previous installments. There is nothing new or innovative about this game. Well, other than a homing air attack that removes just about any difficulty the player would encounter without it. In fact, the option to play as Tails is nowhere to be seen. For a feature as essential and elementary as this to be left out, it's a wonder that this game was even released. Had this been advertised as a reboot of the series, there wouldn't be anything wrong with this game. It is fun. However, it's being sold as a long-awaited sequel and not a remake. Sonic 4 is a lot like a guy during a midlife crisis. He'll try to fool you with his shiny sports car, but it doesn't take long to realize there's a sad middle-aged man behind the wheel. A poor rehashed version of material over a decade old and a lazy last-ditch effort to cash in on a dying brand, Sonic 4 gets 4.5 red running shoes out of 10.
4.5? Really? Oh, come on, that looks awesome. Just like the old games. I mean, come on. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Except when it's broken, you just don't touch it anymore. You leave it alone.
Well, a lot of old games like that are seeming to come back to life.
Or in this case, dying. So it's time to focus on new franchises like Scribblenauts.
Here's our review of Super Scribblenauts. Ever get tired of using swords and guns to battle your way through a game? Well, Scribblenauts changed all that. The game gave you the ability to spawn any item you type in to help you solve crazy puzzles. The new installment, Super Scribblenauts, puts a whole new change into the mix: adjectives. This makes it literally possible to spawn just about anything in existence, and then some. They fixed a lot of the old problems in the game. Now you can control your character with the D-pad instead of relying completely on the stylus for movement. Scribblenauts makes you think of puzzles in a completely different manner than most games, and with a new addition of adjectives, the possibilities are literally endless. We give Super Scribblenauts 9 pencils out of 10.
Well, that looks awesome. I had the first game. Best combination, walrus, wings, party hat. It's like the silliest but most awesome thing you could possibly ever think of.
Well, now you could have adjectives, so you could have like purple wings, exploding walrus. Then the combinations are endless. It's ridiculous.
Naughty walrus, naughty wings.
Oh man, I remember
blue party hat.
I remember I had the first Scribblenauts. I didn't like the controls at all, but this one, much better.
It's not a pain in the behind anymore.
And Fallout New Vegas, that looks pretty sweet, I'm not gonna lie.
Fallout 3, I'm still playing that game. It's fun to just make up your own little stories. Like, I just go out, no weapons, no clothes. I'm just like, in the middle of a gigantic wasteland, just attacking mole rats. It's the best experience you could possibly ever have with a first-person shooter in a deserted, post-apocalyptic world.
It is a pretty sweet game, and I will say, I did play the first 20 minutes of New Vegas.
You lucky dog.
I can say it is pretty awesome. Similar to the third one, too. It's pretty dang sweet.
See, that's a series that you can actually copy things before it, but then it's good, not like Sonic.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's... All right, don't knock Sonic. Come on. It's good. It's good, but...
Fallout 3, not broken. Doesn't need fixing. You just keep rolling it through. Roll it through the series. Mm-hmm. But that's all the time we have for today.
Stay tuned next week for our review of Dead Rising 2 and the latest indie craze, Minecraft.
I'm Chris Segura.
And I'm Corey Puglisi.
See you next week in Game On.